And thanks for joining us this morning on WFAA Plus. I'm Adriana D'Alba. We want to take you live now to the No Kings rally getting underway in Arlington right now. Our reporter Luke Clary is there. We're going to check in with him in just a moment, but this is just one of the demonstrations planned in North Texas as millions are expected to protest all across the country today. Look at that map on your screen. It gives you a better idea of all the protests expected all across the U.S. Let's check in with Luke Clary now. Luke, you're in Arlington. What are you seeing out there so far right now?
Hi, Adriana. Well, I'm standing here on Abrams Street, and if you just take a look here behind me, you can see there's a very large crowd right here on the sidewalk. We're here at Vincent Street, and this extends several blocks down, and the crowd is, a little lighter here on this side, but as you look further down the street, you can probably see that it gets multiple people deep. And so I would estimate that there are probably hundreds, if not maybe even a few thousand already here this morning. The mood here is relatively light. The people here I would compare to something like a block party, right? Because they're a lot of like-minded folks, although they come from many different walks of life and different experiences, different ages, different races, but they have one thing in common. They're here to protest the Trump administration and its handling of a variety of issues, and this is their opportunity to make their voices heard, to come and stand here in solidarity. For the most part, we've seen vehicles driving by and sort of honking in solidarity with these folks as they, just smile and wave at one another. I can tell you months ago when we were at the last No Kings protest, we did occasionally see folks driving by in those trademark lifted pickup trucks with the Trump flag, obviously showing some opposition to what they're seeing on the signs and the messages that these folks are sharing. But here today, for the most part, for as long as we've been here, it's been mostly peaceful and folks that all appear to be on the same page here. Again, here in this No Kings protest, one of several across Tarrant County today and across the country, I should say, protesting the Trump administration and, as I said, the handling of a variety of policies that President Trump has made a priority here in his second term in office. Adriana?
Yeah, Luke, and I was at the last protest in Arlington. They had a pretty decent crowd size, and what I noticed is it does get bigger throughout the day. But in Arlington, things stay very laid back. We hope it stays that way there. But you've been out there talking to people this morning already. What are some of the things that are standing out to you that they're talking about, Luke?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, this is one of several of these protests that we've covered now, the third No Kings protest planned across the country and the third that Arlington has taken part in. I'll tell you, some of the same issues rise to the top. Folks have not forgotten January 6th and there are issues with the way President Trump approached the peaceful transfer of power. We see people out here protesting the administration's handling of LGBTQ issues, of reproductive rights, of its the way that it's handled immigration enforcement, changes at Homeland Security and ICE agents in the street and those enforcement operations. But there's a new issue here today as well, and that, of course, being the U.S.-Israel attack on Iran and all of the fallout from that, the rising cost of fuel, of energy prices, of gasoline at the pump. So we've seen a wide variety of issues here represented on these signs, and I should also mention from time to time some vulgar language as well. So we'll try to be cautious not to bring that to you on this broadcast as well, but as you can see, very high emotions here, high passions on these issues that are very important to folks, and so I can tell you that the crowd is certainly growing. It's getting a little louder just as we speak, as we try to kind of take a different angle here, and you can see more of what's happening. But just talking to folks here, some say that they think that this crowd here in Arlington already looks bigger than what they saw in the last No Kings protest. That was back in October. Adriana?
Thank you, Luke. Definitely looks like that crowd is growing quickly. Our thanks to you, Luke. Stay safe out there. I know you'll be covering this all day long from Arlington to Dallas, but really appreciate you being out there this morning.
Thank you.
And you may recall the first official No Kings protest was back in June, one of the largest demonstrations in U.S. history. Organizers rallied during the military parade in Washington for the 250th anniversary of the Army. It also coincided with President Trump's birthday. Thousands of people showed up, and since then, the protests have become more common nationwide. Today's protest, in part, is in response to the war in Iran and actions from federal ICE agents in Minnesota earlier this year. In January, Renee Good and Alex Peretti were shot and killed by agents during Operation Metro Surge. Thousands of agents descended on Minneapolis under the direction of President Trump to arrest undocumented migrants and address, quote, safety concerns. Today's protests are leading up to the flagship rally happening at the Minnesota State Capitol. That'll start at 2 p.m. our time, and we will stream this online. Earlier this week, Minnesota sued the federal government seeking evidence in the deadly shootings of Good and Peretti by federal ICE agents. A spokesperson from the DOJ says the shooting of Good remains under review, and the FBI is leading the investigation into the shooting of Peretti. Organizers say they will hold a mass call to the public about what's next for the group and protesters at the end of the month. That'll be March 31st. We will keep an eye on protests all throughout the day with special team coverage. We have brought in extra resources, so make sure you keep it right here with us on WFAA Plus for the very latest. We will also stream some of the protests happening across North Texas all throughout the day. Keep it locked right here.
Are we the people have the power if we vote? That's why we're working so hard for that. That's exactly right. That's it. That's it. Yeah, here you go. Thank you. Uh-huh. I'm afraid that little stick is going to break. No. Oh.
Doing this, I hit that face so bad.
Try to make a